An abusive person will always test the waters just to see how far they can go with you, just to see how much you will take in a relationship, what you're going to tolerate, what you won't tolerate. That is why it is so important for us to establish boundaries in our relationships, in our existing relationships, and the relationships that we are trying to establish. And you can do this by writing down your boundaries and discussing these with the person that you're involved with or the people that you have relationships with in general. You discuss these boundaries so that when the crossing of the line occurs or when the abuse occurs, you call them out on it. You call them out on it and you let them know this is not something that I am willing to accept in our relationship. I will not tolerate disrespect or abuse or name calling or whatever it is, whatever line that they have crossed, that you have clearly set a boundary for. You call them out on it. And if they are not willing to change, if the behavior does not stop or it gets worse in any way, then you know you have to react. And reacting would be you leaving. And you have to be okay with leaving or letting them leave. Okay? Because if a person does not feel bad at all for the way that they're treating you, for abusing you, or dogging you out in any way, then it's highly likely that they lack the ability to feel empathy. And that is dangerous because a lot of narcissists carry this trait, this characteristic. And that shows up when you're dealing with a narcissist. So if you're dealing with somebody that is having a hard time showing empathy or feeling bad for mistreating you, then it's highly likely that you're dealing with a narcissist, okay? And that's a for sure reason to put on your walking shoes and to get ghosts or send them on their way. Because if you allow abuse, if you allow your boundaries to be crossed even one time, this tells the abuser that you have no boundaries. Okay, that your standards in the relationship are extremely loose and that they can do pretty much whatever they want to and get away with it. They can disrespect you and they can keep on pushing the line, raising the bar, so to speak. It will not get better. It will not go away because if you've allowed it, then they already know that this is something that you're going to tolerate. So that's why it's so important as soon as that snake rears its head for you to chop it off. Chop it off, nip it in the bud, so to speak. Don't even let it grow into something larger. You don't let anybody cross your boundaries or disrespect you in any way in a relationship. And as soon as it shows up, call it out. And if it doesn't get better, then you have to remove yourself from it. And remember, this is a proven fact, y'all. Remember, even a head that has been, the head of a snake that has been chopped off from its body can still bite you and inject its venom. That's why it's so important for you to bury it properly. And what I'm saying is, leave the relationship and do not come back. Because the abuse will not stop. It will only continue and get worse. So you have to make sure that you bury that head properly, okay? When a person shows you who they are, believe them. They will not change, and you can't change them. Remove yourself from the toxicity.